I just stay consistent, if I just stay grounded in God, if I just stay focused, cutting off certain distractions, make certain sacrifices, that I can have that same success. Because you're growing your mindset. Before you get your money right, you have to get your mind right. You have an iPhone, invest in Apple. It's a lot of Teslas driving around here. Don't just drive a Tesla without owning the Tesla stock. You're not changing who you are. You're just becoming the best version of yourself.
Welcome to another episode of the Deep Dive Podcast. I'm Raissa.
And I'm Gloria.
And we have a special guest today. His name is Tarik. He grew up in Prince George's, Maryland. He was raised by a single mother and he has one sibling. He's dedicated to making a positive impact in his community by cultivating mindsets that encourage dreaming big while staying authentic to one's true self. He leads a movement focused on putting wealth back into the community through ownership and entrepreneurship. As a former teacher, Tarik uses education to break down financial concepts that can be understood by anyone. He's passionate about God, family, travel, and personal growth. Help us welcome Mr. Tarik.
Let's go. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
We finally got it popping.
Okay, yes.
I remember we were trying to schedule and you were traveling and you were jet setting.
Yeah, same to you guys. Always moving and shaking, definitely putting on for the community, definitely doing big things. Glad to have it. Glad that you guys have me.
Glad you're here. So let's get into it.
Okay.
All right, so I saw a picture of you and PBD. For those who don't know, PBD, he's a successful entrepreneur. He's the host of Valuetainment and PBD Podcast, and he's really big in the life insurance space. Mm-hmm. What's the most eye-opening lesson that you got from PBD?
Definitely so he got started in the financial services industry at a young age, similar to myself. And just the sacrifices that he made as a younger individual in business, certain things that he cut out, such as partying, drinking, messing around with a bunch of women, because in business, if you're making a lot of money, certain things may come easy. But he grounded himself in his faith, and he grounded himself in his discipline, and he cut a lot of things off. And he said he put his head down for 5 years. He cut off all distractions, and he looked up and he was a multi-millionaire. So it was like for myself, I took that, being also young in business, that if I just stay consistent, if I just stay grounded in God, if I just stay focused, cutting off certain distractions, make certain sacrifices, that I can have that same success and more.
Wow. So some people say that his business model is just another MLM. What is your take on that? What do you think?
Yeah, so I believe that our business model focused on leaders building leaders. Okay. And what I mean by that is there's a financial incentive for me to bring someone on to the financial services industry, and I can pour into this individual from ground up, from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. But I'm not doing it in vain. I'm getting something in it, but that person is also getting something out of it as well. Right. In real estate, I can build up I'm a broker. Let's say I'm a broker in real estate. Right. I can build up this individual in real estate, but once they become a broker, we are now competition. In our industry, once I build someone up to become a broker, now that person is a broker in my organization. I'm still able to benefit because all those blood, sweat, and tears and time and sweat equity that I put into that individual. So it's not like we're going around and we're just recruiting people to recruit. No, we recruit to get somebody licensed, to get somebody paid, to get somebody an insurance policy in our community. And we believe through distribution. If I recruit somebody into my organization, that gives us access to more markets for us to go out there and educate them on money and finances. So that's our model. It's not just recruiting to recruit. No, we recruit to build. And it's really the personal development also along the way, because you're growing your mindset. Before you get your money right, you have to get your mind right.
That's true. That's true. It's good that you're able to answer those questions, because those are things that when you Google, it comes up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, even in regards to life insurance, there's so many other life insurance companies out there, and they're always trying to like recruit you and things of that nature. So people are not aware of like, okay, what is the difference, right?
True.
Between what you just said and MLM.
100%. And really, because I remember when I first got started, I got that as well. Like, hey, is this a MLM? Is this network marketing? It's like, I mean, I didn't know anything about MLM or network marketing before getting started. I always had a keen to money, and I like making money. I like helping other people make money. Mm-hmm. So when I got started, it was like, okay, is that one of those things? But I'm just so grateful that I was recruited to a leader whose values and principles weighs way more than anything that you can ever see on Google, right? Mm-hmm. The Chris and Messina Hart, the foundation, the values that they instilled in the environment itself, in the culture itself, it blows away anything that I can ever see on Google or on Reddit or anything like that. And what I mean by that is our office is a top 5 office in all of PHP. Wow. So if PHP
wow, that's huge.
Yeah. Okay. If PHP has 400 different offices and I belong to a top 5 office, I don't know what the 398th office does. Okay. They can recruit me and they don't have anything. It's like, it is kind of like a pyramid scheme. It's like, this is kind of a scam. Right, but the fact that it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears put in it to the values, the principles that's instilled in the culture, in the environment. Nothing in Google could ever, it changed my life. It got me closer to God. It got me becoming a better son, a better friend, a better just business partner all around, just a better leader in my community. So I'm super grateful for it, for sure.
So talking about transitioning and all of that, becoming a better person. So you used to be a teacher, right?
True.
So how did you go from being a teacher to becoming an entrepreneur?
Got you. So I was actually an entrepreneur before I became a teacher. Right. So so I started my entrepreneurship journey pretty young, just buying and selling shoes. So when I was 11 years old, I saved up a couple of $1,000 from just flipping shoes. Okay. So the entrepreneurship bug hit me at a young age. But the thing is, I just didn't have someone in my life that can kind of show me the ropes on how to build a business. Right. So I ended up going to college at Morgan State University, and I studied business and entrepreneurship. But I realized that my professor, he was teaching me how to be an employee rather than how to be a business owner. So me and my friend, Eli, rest in peace, we started a business together and we gained some success. And that's why I learned about LLCs and partnerships and marketing and sales and advertisement and how to actually promote your brand. And then I ended up focusing more on my business than I did in school. And that's when I left school my sophomore year to pursue business full time. Right. And I was doing that, and I ended up getting a mentor who actually taught me a lot about money and finances. How to take the money that I was making in my business and invest it in the market to triple and quadruple my returns. Okay. So instead of just putting that money in my shoebox or in my safe, hiding it from myself, it's like, hey, no, go work, make that money work for you. So I was able to do that, and I liked it a lot. And I started teaching other people how to do that for free. And I was just teaching, putting it on my Instagram page, the books that I was reading, the meetings I was going to, and people started to, really follow the advice that I was giving them. But it wasn't a business model in place for me to monetize the education. Right. So it's like, okay, cool, I can give you free game and I don't have a problem with that. But if you're calling me for mentorship, I need to find a way to monetize this and kind of charge. But I didn't have that guidance again. The bull market ended up coming. So I started investing in crypto 2019. Okay. And the bull market came 2021, and I had a lot of money in assets, but I didn't necessarily have cash flow coming. Because I was an entrepreneur, but at the time, our product, we wasn't really bringing in new product. So my cash flow started to slow down, but I had this money in assets. But my assets I was always a long-term thinker, like, hey, this is for my long term. This is for retirement. This is for certain things later on in life. So I didn't want to cash that in before it could reach its full potential. Right. So I ended up getting a job, and that's what led me into teaching. So I was always patient with kids. I always was looked at as a mentor, kind of teaching people about how to play basketball and just building your mindset all around. So I always wanted to be a positive influence in the community, and that's how I got into teaching.
Wow, that's great. That's very impressive. So you were an entrepreneur first.
Yes.
And because of needing the cash flow, you went and got a job to create that cash flow and then get back into entrepreneurship.
100%. Yeah. Yep.
That's
exactly.
smart. I didn't even know all that about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, since we're talking about entrepreneurship and a traditional job, do you think entrepreneurship is the only way to like build wealth? What do you think about like, regular 9 to 5 job? Because now can they still build wealth with that, or is entrepreneurship the only way to go?
I do not think that entrepreneurship is the only way to go to build wealth. Now, there's different ways to build wealth. You can build wealth slow, you can build wealth at a medium length, or you can build wealth quicker, right? If you want to build wealth slow, you can do that with a 9 to 5. Now, if you want to build wealth quicker, you will have to start turning into like an investor. You have to take the money that you're making from your job and you have to make that money work for you. Whether that's in investments or starting a side hustle. But when we take side hustles, that's now entrepreneurship. So I do believe that you can't just say, hey, I'm going to work a job and I'm going to get wealthy from just working a job. You have to learn how to take that money and turn it to an investor. And now that money can start working for you. But is investing entrepreneurship?
I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't think you have to. I think you have to educate yourself, but you're not necessarily an entrepreneur. It is an investor, Put your money somewhere and the money is making money for you.
True.
You don't
have to. You're not a business owner.
You don't even have to go anywhere. You don't even have to talk to anyone. I think, though, that it's very important that you educate yourself. And you need to educate yourself whether you're an entrepreneur or not. Even for a job, you need to educate yourself. So that's just part of life. But I wouldn't say investment is an entrepreneurship.
I don't think so either. I think that investments is investments.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurship is you have a business, you generate cash flow, you solve problems, and different things like that. So I do think that if you have a 9 to 5, you don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur to build wealth, but you do have to become an investor. You have to take that money, start investing in real estate, start investing in stocks, start investing in whatever you take a liking to start making that money work for you. And I always believe that just do things that you already like to do. Invest in things that you already buy. If you have an iPhone, invest in Apple. There's a lot of Teslas driving around here. Don't just drive a Tesla without owning the Tesla stock. So it's different research that you can do, but it's very simple. It's not hard. We overthink certain concepts sometimes because it's foreign language. We weren't taught it growing up. A lot of times we're not taught about money and finances and investments in school or in the household, so we shy away from it, or we hear horror stories of people losing money. And yes, you can lose money if you don't properly invest or have a good strategy.
Okay. So you mentioned household, right? I know you grew up with a single mother in Prince George County. How was that growing up? And did that motivate you to, get into entrepreneurship and try to become successful? Growing up with a single mom.
Yeah, most definitely. My family definitely had a big impact in just how I moved today. Just seeing my mom work so hard to provide a lifestyle for me, my brother, and different things like that. And just the sacrifices that my grandmother made coming from the down south, where there's not a lot of opportunities, especially back in the 70s and the 80s. She migrated up to the DMV area, got a government job, and that's what kind of like gave my mom and my aunt different opportunities. And I believe that it's my job to outdo that, because now it's like, hey, that sacrifice grandma was working. My mom and them getting jobs, 6-figure job. Now here comes the grandson coming in making millions. I believe that that's my duty, and I don't want to make that sacrifice in vain. So I go very hard. But yeah, just seeing the sacrifices that was made, certain times that, starting out playing sports and different things, there was only a check for one of us to play sports. So it's like, okay, cool. Let me do what I need to do so I can make it happen. So definitely the household taught me a lot. And my mom was very well connected as well. She's very well connected. She knows a lot of people, and she can move and shake in different arenas. And she has like anybody on speed dial. And I seen how she moved, and I'm like, wow, that's good to emulate. And that's how I carry it. And that's how we ended up here,
And that's how you got the name Well Connected.
That's how we got the name Well Connected. Absolutely.
I was just about to say I can definitely see that in you. You easily create connections. You easily remember people when things, it's easy, you easily connect with people, because not everyone can reach out and have this natural conversations and just build an intimate relationship with others. Comes in hard sometimes.
True.
But talking about family and faith, so how do you take it into perspective, like your family and your faith? How does that help you when you're approaching, your leadership skills? How does that play? What role does that play into how you approach your leadership skills and life and your business in general?
100%. Yeah, no. Increasing my faith has transformed my leadership skills in ways that I can't even imagine. Before getting started, and this is another reason I'm super grateful for just the environment that I'm a part of, dealing with the agency and sold out service and different things like that, because they invited me out to church for the first time. Like I didn't grow up in the church. I didn't grow up reading the Bible. I grew up of the world, doing things that exactly.
So the agency you work for invited you to church.
Correct. Yeah. Semi Solar. Shout out to Semi Solar. Shout out to Chris Hart. Shout out to the whole SOS. Because you guys opened up my mind. They invited me to a singles night the first time, and they knew what they were doing, so they invited me to a singles night. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool, all right, this is nice. But then they invited me that Sunday, and that Sunday I'm like, wow. And I was in business prior to, so I've been to business conferences and the personal development seminars. And I'm like, wow, this kind of reminds me of one of them. It reminds me of a personal development seminar, a personal development conference. Like they're talking about how I can improve the quality of my life and how I can impact others with the word of God. And I took a liking to that. It wasn't a type of church that I've ever been to. Shout out to Union Church, Pastor Stephen Chandler. So that was just amazing. And then, I'm being consistent, and then I'm just learning more about Jesus and how he operated when he was actually walking earth, how he had all the same temptations that we had, but he maintained a perfect life, and he didn't conform to different things that was happening. And the more I study that, and just even the conversations that we have in the office or just around, we're talking about the word of God and just how to live a life based off values and principles. And it's like, why didn't I learn this when I was in high school? Why wasn't this taught when I thought that this meant that you were popular or that you had certain things? Why wasn't it this? Because this is literally showing you how to live a grounded life and how to live a fulfilled life. So I've taken those principles and I'm sharing it with others that I'm coming across, because nobody in the world is perfect. So if no one's in the world is perfect, you can't judge anybody for acting how they act or doing what they do. You can't judge them. All you can do is guide them to what you know is the light. So I just take what I learned, and just like I did with the money and finances, I just shared. Hey, this is what I'm reading. Hey, these are the scriptures that I'm reading. Leadership, John C. Maxwell Leadership Bible. And I'm just dropping it. And people liking it. I don't know what it's doing for their life. I just know they liking it. So if they liking it, that means they probably like it. I mean, I don't like things that I don't like. But so it's like, obviously that's making an impact. And that's all that I do. I just do certain things that's going to improve my life, and I share with other people. And, if the shoe fits, wear it. I can't say the right thing to the wrong person, but you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So it's definitely transformed my life, just how I lead, just studying certain things. And it's a blessing, it's a blessing. Just God is good. God is good.
Amen.
For sure.
Amen.
Yes. All the time. So John C. Maxwell, we had a prior guest who actually went through his leadership program, and I have a friend of mine who's a coach, a radio host, everything, and he also went through that program, John C. Maxwell.
Wow.
So it's really good that you actually read the books, and so you are actually doing the work. You're not just talking the talk, but like you are actually in the space with the movers and shakers in the industry and learning.
Yeah, no, you can't fake it. Yeah. It's hard to fake certain things. I would have been got exposed. There's certain things that I have to do the work, because, like I said, who I am today is not who I was 3-4 years ago. God came into my life, and we built this person that y'all see today. We built it. The book. I never read a book a day in my life before the age of 21. I'm 25 now.
You're so young.
Yeah, so at 20.
I wanted to ask you that. I'm like, you look so young, but you talk so grown. I'm confused. You know, that's really old soul type of person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. But yes, it's just, it's the books that I'm reading, the people I'm associating myself with, the meetings I'm attending, just the environment, the associations, power of association is very powerful for sure. But yeah, I'm doing the work, I'm reading the books, I'm growing, and I have to, because if certain people follow me, like John C. Maxwell always say, it's the law of the lid. If I stop growing my lid, then everyone who follows me, I'm shortening their learning. I'm shortening the growth that they have. I'm stunting their growth. If I'm not continuously learning and growing, then that leaves that room for them to continuously grow. If I stop, that means it's cool to stop. You're the leader and you're stopping, so it's cool for me to stop.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe in that. And the leadership that I follow and the leadership that I try to emulate is like they're always constantly growing as well.
Right.
God is always improving as well. Jesus was always improving as well. So who am I to stop?
So I know that you are on this journey where, you learn a lot from your past mistakes. You're in a, growth journey, successful. You've been doing pretty well for yourself at such a young age. Kudos to you.
Kudos.
But I know people that are listening want to know, like, okay, what are some of the challenges that you've had in the past? Like, for example, what's one of the biggest mistakes that you've done in the past and you learned from it now that you are at this stage of your life where you're successful?
Yeah, following the wrong crowds. Being and nothing's wrong with, nothing's wrong with anybody, but it's like, where you belong and where you don't belong. Yeah. We all have that gut feeling, and sometimes I would have a gut feeling and I would still go with it anyway. Mm-hmm. And I find myself getting in more trouble than not, just by, neglecting that gut feeling. So it was certain mistakes where I almost got locked up, and that could have kind of hit it. Just being in places that I wasn't supposed to be, being in abandoned buildings and just, partying in abandoned buildings, and it's like, and I'm skipping school and I'm in an abandoned building.
I know somebody in here can relate to that.
Okay.
We're not in the background.
Okay, yeah. So just in an abandoned building, had no business being there, just like smoking and just doing what young people do, and then the cops knock on the door, and now I'm finding myself hopping out the back of the window, jumping off 2 stories, boom, almost breaking my leg, running through the field, falling, and it's close cuts like that it's like, man, you have no business doing that. Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? And it mistakes in college and just mistakes all in all, just like the most successful people, all they do is they overcome the most mistakes and they overcome the most things that happen in their life. They overcome the most hardships, but they overcome it. They don't just live in it and dwell on it and dwell in the past. No, they say, how can I get better? How can I improve? How can I avoid making that same mistake? So now today, I just avoid certain mistakes. Like, hey, okay, if I have a slight chance of getting in trouble by doing that, I'm not going to do it.
Right. I'm
going to just avoid it, because I don't want to sacrifice that. I like nice things. I like traveling the world. I like looking good. I like smelling good. I like eating good. Mm-hmm. I don't want to. That's not for me. That's not for me. It's not for me.
Trying to be trapping.
But at first, it was like I would still do it, and I wouldn't enjoy myself. And it's like, I'm doing it, but I'm not enjoying myself. That's why when people see me, it's like, you're so energetic, you're so happy, it's because I'm doing things that I like to do every day. It's like, if I don't like to do it, I'm not going to do it. Simple. If I don't like to do it, I'm not going to. I would tell somebody no in a heartbeat. Oh, can you do this? No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Oh, what you mean? I mean, I'm good. You good? You good? I'm good.
That's good.
And as an entrepreneur, you need to learn how to say no. You can't always say yes to people.
Yeah,
you can't be a people pleaser.
For sure.
I had to learn that the hard way too.
Really?
You got some clients that, you gotta fire them. You gotta tell them you can't work with you no more because you're being difficult. Making everybody uncomfortable.
Wow, no, you can't tolerate that. Your space, your piece is everything.
Yeah.
Your space is everything. This is you guys' environment. It's our job to make it comfortable, for you guys to make it comfortable, and for me to make it comfortable. So if anybody sabotaging that, or you can't tolerate that. Yeah. There's certain standards that you have for your life that you can't. It's non-negotiable.
Yeah, it cannot be for everyone.
For sure.
Peace of mind is priceless.
I say that all the time. I'm not for everyone.
Yeah, no.
I challenge. I do certain things. If you're not improving, I will challenge you. Right. I'll challenge you. Hey, like, boom, you want this, but you're not doing this. Why aren't you doing this? Oh. All right, I mean, all right. So are you cool with not getting these results because you're not doing what it takes? And you got to be cool with being challenged. I'm not for everybody.
Right.
I'm not for everybody.
Are you tough on your clients?
Am I tough on my clients?
Yeah.
No. You can't be tough on clients.
No, I'm talking about like in terms of like giving them that tough love. You know what I mean? Like the truth about certain things.
You have to tell them the truth, right? So there. I mean, you have to. So basically, everything's transparent. We're dealing with money and finances.
Right.
So I sit with individuals. Like I was sitting down with a client. She was like 69 years old, and she had about 60,000 for retirement. 60,000 for retirement at age 69. That's not any money. So she's coming to us to see, hey, what can we do with this money? But this is all she has. She has to live on this. So now I have to be the bad guy to say, hey, unfortunately, you did not properly plan, or whoever was in your corner didn't help you properly plan. There's not a lot that we can do now but offer you an opportunity. Now, I can't offer her the opportunity. She get a license. And now we help anybody in her network that does have funds. We can help protect those funds. Then she makes funds, and now she can take the funds that she's making, and now she can build like that. So you just have to process it with them. It's not necessarily like hard on them. You're just processing it with them. Now, is that uncomfortable sometimes for them? Yes, because they've been going through life thinking that they were doing the right thing. They got a job at 35 years old and they've been putting money in a 401k for 30 years. And then it's like, okay, I'm supposed to have this money. But little did they know the market crashed 38%. So that 300,000 you thought you had in the account is only like 210.
So what's the right way to do it? Walk me through it. Like instead of, putting that money in a 401k, what should you do?
Yeah, so it depends on what it is that you're looking for. So what we specialize is how to build tax-free wealth. Right, I like tax-free wealth. If you had a choice to be taxed now, taxed later, or taxed never, a lot of people would recommend being taxed never. So we show individuals how to leverage the power of insurance to become their own bank. Essentially, instead of taking that money, put in a 401k where you're going to pay fees to put that money in there, or for that money manager to manage your account. Right. And when the market goes up and you try to take money out, you have to pay taxes. And if you take it out prematurely, pre-59.5, then you will also have to pay 10% in penalties. Yeah. So you're essentially giving your money away, but it's intended to be for retirement. So, boom, but the thing is, let's say the market crashes before you retire or during retirement. Now you're losing that money. So essentially, we show individuals how to protect their money. When the market goes up, they're getting the gains in the market due to IULs or Index Universal Life, or if someone's...
What's the IUL? Break it down, people that don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so Index Universal Life is an insurance policy. This is an insurance policy. When most people think of insurance, they think, hey, it's like my car insurance policy. If I die, my family gets a benefit, right? Okay. Which is the case, but there's so many more things that you can use insurance for. Business owners could utilize it to save money on taxes and give bonuses to their key employees, and now help them get bonuses and put them in golden handcuffs to retain employees and keep key employees. Individuals like myself, I utilize it for active capital. So what I mean by that is, instead of me just saving money in a bank account, I can open my own bank account utilizing my IUL, get the growth tied to the market with guaranteed no losses. So my bank account is safe. That's what I like about my bank account, and that I can take money out of it. Now, the IUL is also safe, and you can take money out of it. But you can also get growth and interest tied to the market. So I utilize my IUL to take out money to then use it for investments. Now, when I take that money out of my IUL and put it inside of my investments, because it is an insurance policy, I'm actually borrowing from my death benefit. And when you borrow from your death benefit, that allows that cash to stay inside of the account and continue to earn interest as if you never even touched it. So it's compounded. So instead of me taking my dollar and investing it once, I funnel it through insurance, borrow from my insurance policy, dump it inside of my investments. Now I use my same dollar, not just once, but I used it twice. So it's growing in 2 different places for me at once. And that's how I utilize it. And then boom, it's like, hey, if I'm transitioning into retirement, instead of me keeping all my money in a 401k or a TSP or 403b, I can literally protect my money leveraging an index strategy, give me a guaranteed income for life, like a privatized pension. The reason that a lot of people, they give 30 years, 40 years to a job is because they promised a pension when they retire.
Yeah.
Right? Nowadays, there's not a lot of companies that's offering pensions anymore because it didn't make sense for them financially. The employers back in the day, they offered it because I know if you give me 35 years of your life and you retire at 62 years old, you probably only live into 65, 66 years old. So I'm going to give you a check, boom, 30 years for 4 years, deal. But what started to happen was people started to live longer. Life expectancy rate started to increase. So now people are not passing away till 70, 80, 90. So now they're getting these checks. And now these employers are like, whoa, I still got to pay this person a check? No, cut pensions. So nowadays, no one's that's graduating college is getting pension. Now, but think about it. If your parents got a pension and they had a 401k, they did right. But if someone only has a 401k, no pension, where's that?
Right.
Where's that? You need that. And that's what's not being taught in our community anymore. So now people think that, because my mom had a 401k, yeah, but she also has Social Security and a pension. By the time you retire, you're 30 years old. You think Social Security is going to be around in 30 years? Of course not. It's already run out of money.
We got the new administration. They're trying to do a lot of changes.
They're doing a lot.
Right.
You got to keep your eyes peeled. We don't know what they're doing. So it's like you have to be in the know. You have to be around the money. What is actually happening? That's why we always host free workshops and free events to just share free information. Come learn and see what options you have out there.
Right.
We're not for everybody. We're for those who's looking for us. But we're out there if anyone wants any free information, for sure.
You should have a lot of free game.
He basically explains
this is
life insurance.
You went through what somebody would tell us in a 1 hour workshop in like 10 minutes.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, I'm a teacher, man. That's what I do.
That's why he's able to do that.
Yeah.
You know how to teach.
Thank you.
I feel like I should have been taking notes, but I'm going to rewatch this interview.
100%. I love it.
But we're a little bit short on time, so I know you want to ask a question.
Yes. And then, I think you already answered a little bit of the question I'm about to ask by explaining life insurance, but let's say someone out there is trying to break generational poverty, like they're trying to make it. What is one advice, you would give them?
Study people who've done what you want to do. Simple.
There you go.
Simple. Don't reinvent the wheel. Because what most people do is they make mistakes trying to figure it out. But wisdom says that I'm going to borrow experience from someone else's mistakes. So I don't have to go through 20 years of mistakes. All I got to do is read this book from someone who went through 20 years of mistakes. And now it shortens my learning curve. Or get a mentor who's like, hey, I've been through certain mistakes. You can avoid it by dodging that obstacle, by not doing that, by putting your money here, by negating doing this or doing that. So it's like reading books is getting a mentor. That's what you have to do. And I mean, they say if you want to hide something from someone, put it in the book. And for a majority of my life, I was like, I knew I wanted to be rich, but it's like I never read a book about anybody rich and what they did. And as soon as I started doing that, my mind just changed completely. And because how I was viewing the world, it was way different. As I was growing up, it was more of a crabs in a barrel mindset that a lot of people had. And then I read my first book, The Science of Getting Rich, and he said the world, God put enough and put abundance in the world for everyone to get exactly what it is that they want out of life without taking from anyone else. So how I grew up, it's like, hey, if you're winning big, that means that she's not winning big. Or if I'm winning big, that means that he can't win big. But no, God blessed the earth with enough abundance. Y'all ever heard like, hey, there's not enough food on the earth, or there's not enough land on earth? There's more than enough on the earth. But there's enough for everyone's needs, but not for everyone's greed.
So that scarcity mindset.
100%. it's false.
Right.
It's false. There's abundance for everyone, but once you start thinking of abundance, then you just see it all around. You see just limitless opportunity.
Yeah. Wow.
You shared a lot. I feel like we gotta get you on here for like a part 2,
Let's do it,
brother, because it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot of good information that I know a lot of people may not know, because there's so many people out here. 365 million people in America, so not everybody knows about life insurance or ways to, grow their wealth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
So the fact that, you took your time out of the day, you shared what you know and what you learned from higher level, high network individuals like PBD, Christopher Hart. I've met him before too.
Me too.
And, he's an upstanding man.
True.
So I definitely know that you working with him, like you have the same type of mindset, the growth mindset, wanting to help people. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
Do you have maybe an Instagram handle you want to share with people, how they can get in touch with you via the DMs?
Yeah,
they gotta
absolutely.
be DMs. He's young. He has to walk in the DMs.
Absolutely. No, first and foremost, definitely I appreciate you guys for just allowing me on you all's platform. Definitely means a lot. Definitely wanted to bring the heat for you guys because I know that you all are doing what you are doing in the community and building up the community and making sure that you're impacting people. So I just wanted to be an asset for you guys as well. So I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart for sure. You can find me, Tarik Turnipseed, aka Well Connected, Instagram at RickWC. That's at RIKWC with an underscore. We dropping content. We host free events. Just in the community building, actually putting our boots to the ground and putting in the work. A lot of people, they talk a lot, but come collaborate with us so we can actually make a movement and so we can actually make impact in the community. That's the name of the game. Leaders building leaders, really making change, not waiting for anybody to do it for us, but leading from the front.
Wow. Damn. I know you're a rapper too, right? You did a little rap song.
Oh,
like a little bar.
You see her giving a little.
So it's crazy because as we were in college, we invested in the studio, and so that's when we figured out that people was nice with their words,
We should do a little collab with a little something.
Okay. Hey, I don't know, man. I kind of retired from that, but they had me bring it back. When I hit broker in the industry, one of the quickest to hit broker. So once we did that, one of my guys, one of my artists, man, and also business partners, he surprised me. They had a surprise party for me at the office, put together by Chris and my mom and everything. Shout out to y'all. That was beautiful, definitely a surprise. But my guy, he said, hey, I got something for you. So he had the studio in my office with an engineer, and like they was rapping, and then boom, I came in and I was like, man, I might be rusty, but they let the beat go and I just start freestyling, and I'm like, whoa, because who I am today, and this was 2024 in October, compared to the last time I made a song, probably 2021 or 2022, it's like the things that I did, the people I met, the hands that I shook, the rooms that I've been in, and it just started coming out. I'm like, whoa. Oh yeah, this is pretty nice. And then boom, we ended up making that song, and that song is everybody's, quoting the song. And we were in Las Vegas and we performed it in front of 5,000 people.
Wow.
And it's crazy because I remember, going to college campuses trying to talk to SGA and just connecting. Hey, can you put my artist on? And homecomings, do y'all have any openings? We'll pay you guys to just get some spotlight on these artists. And just fast forward at a conference for financial services and insurance, where talking about what we're doing.
I think I commented. I said something like, make a financial literacy something fun again, or something like that.
Absolutely.
Or cool again.
100%.
Right.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
Let's pull up with the fire emoji, and I was like, banging my head like,
appreciate you for sure. That's what it's all about. People think that you have to join. When you join this industry, you have to change who you are. No, you're not changing who you are. You're just becoming the best version of yourself. So that's what we adapt. That's what we move by, and that's why these companies pay us a lot of money, because they pay us to attract people who look, talk, and act like us, and teach them about money and finances.
I love that.
Perfect.
You want to do the outro?
Wow. Yes, this was a lot. Thank you for coming. We learned so much about you and so much gems that you had to share. We'll have to definitely go back and dissect this episode, but we appreciate your time. We appreciate you coming here, and we'll definitely do a part 2, right, at a Raj Studio.
Okay. All right. Hey.
With that, thank you for watching the Deep Dive Podcast. Feel free to share, comment, follow us on all our platforms, Instagram, Talk, and we'll see you next time. Bye.